One thing I noticed that I'm always doing is digging holes constantly. Seem to be an expert at digging holes. So this hole right here is about 1.5 feet down. One thing I noticed is you dig, and the first time you dig you're only going to get about 6 inches down. And just remove the topsoil, and then it's as hard as a rock after that. Once you get your 6-inch hole, like right here, you just fill it all the way to the top with water. And you don't even come back and even look at it until all that water's dissipated into the ground. Once that happens, you can easily dig through another foot down before it gets hard again. At that point, you're about 1.5 feet below the ground, which is perfect for just about anything I dig, usually for sprinklers and things. So the best way to do this is, especially when you're doing Halloween stuff and you got a lot of holes to dig, what I'll do is I'll dig about 10 holes at a time, and then I'll fill every single one of them up one by one with water. And then I'll go back and start on the first one and dig through. I always make my props, as you can see, I even put a line on there to show me how far down to bury this as a foot. And I'll have this much still hanging out above ground. As for big things like this sign, I'm gonna actually have to cement that into the ground. Fill in the hole with water. So just fill it all the way to the top. I'll mess around with water conservation. Just fill it up. It's not really bad, like digging about 10 holes, about 1.5 feet down, it'll take me maybe about 10 minutes. So 20 minutes for all of this stuff, and that's not too bad really. Well, as you can see, Spooky Town's really coming together. This groundbreaker coffin is supposed to look like it really ruptured through the ground, and it should have a bunch of dirt lying around it. I'm actually going to put more dirt all around it, especially around the back. Make it look like it really burst out of the ground and lots of dirt was displaced. Now here's a really cool idea I come up with. This dead looking tree right here is actually some limbs I cut off of trees. But yeah, I was trying to stuff these into a garbage can last night and break them up, and they were too hard to bend and snap, and I was getting upset about it, and I was like, well, I'll just make a tree out of it and then just put that work off until later. Notice here I put like a mound around it because I kind of feel like trees have mounds around the base. But yeah, it looks pretty good, like a dead cemetery tree that's like neglected or something. Now I'm looking around at this hillside thinking, what other trees need to be trimmed up here? Also, you can see that I've been accenting certain areas with leaves, like around the different props I'm using. It kind of just didn't look right until I sprinkled a bunch of leaves around it. Now it looks like it's kind of been there for a while. Leaves are gathering around the base. Also, I put some leaves around this little tree so that it looks more like all the leaves kind of fell off of it. Have them for next year.